However, important to note, the Indian smartphone market has not been immune to a little sluggishness given the current world circumstance with lockdown, the big lockdown. Smartphone shipments in India fell 48% to 17.3 million units in the quarter ending in June. That's thanks to our good buds over there at Canalys. Those are the data guys who are always tracking smartphone shipments in various regions. 4 out of the 5 top vendors are Chinese companies, with Xiaomi leading the pack. So even though we've reported on we've seen reports of a certain kind of backlash going on after the conflict took place at the border region there between China and India, which we talked about, and then even just in our own comments, when in this show and on Twitter, I'm trying to get a grip on what the sentiment actually is.
Right.
Because at one moment it's boycott this and that, and then at another moment it's excitement around a new smartphone launch, and it's tough to gauge where we really are. But this downturn makes sense regardless. Even with all the great economic news surrounding guys like Ambani and companies like Jio and investments from Google and Facebook, there's still a lockdown happening for the general public. Mm-hmm. And there's consequences, economic consequences to this virus, which is still out there, still out there in the world. And this is one of those consequences. There's fewer people buying smartphones in general. Xiaomi led the way with 5.3 million shipments in that quarter ending in June, despite a 48% decrease in annual growth. The other vendors in the top 5, Vivo, Samsung, Oppo, Realme. And of course, Realme a part of the Oppo brand. So that's big time. They saw their shipments decline with the annual growth of each company falling at least 27% in that quarter. So it's a tough situation over there. I expect it to make a comeback, just like the markets elsewhere. I mean, eventually these things, I don't know how long it takes, but eventually you see this turnaround. But even that market is not immune.
Right.
Well, no market is immune. And even though it's absolutely surging, there are complications. There are some issues. But I'm of course, like everyone else, I'm waiting to see what happens with this Google Jio partnership. If they can really do it. If they can really deliver. You got something to say, Will?
No.
Yeah, you do. I saw you smirking over there.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say budget hardware of some sort, right?
Yeah, but that's not funny, though.
No, I lost my train of thought.
You had something else going on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the budget phone to bring the remaining 500 million people online who are on feature phones right now, that could have a big impact here. And one weird thing, you think about this lockdown, a big way in which people are dealing with it is turning to their technology, whether it's gaming, whether it's their phone, their TV, who knows where. And in India, where the smartphone is the screen, primarily, I mean, based on when I visited, my exposure, what I understand about that market, if you were on a feature phone, let's say all you had was a feature phone, and you're on lockdown, that could be a pretty boring experience. Mm-hmm. The smartphone opens up entertainment, video games, social media, communication, web conferencing, all these different avenues. And maybe the barrier currently is just that cost. So if, like I said, if this Google money ends up in this truly affordable smartphone that's actually half decent, even in a lockdown, I could see that being compelling. I'm just saying.